The mere exposure effect is where people tend to develop a preference for things simply because they are familiar with them. Repeated exposure to a stimulus, such as a person, object, or idea, increases the likelihood that individuals will view it more positively or favorably. Mere exposure to a stimulus, without any associated positive or negative experiences, can lead to increased liking or preference for that stimulus. Individuals may not consciously recognize that their attitudes or preferences are influenced by mere exposure. Instead, this effect operates at an implicit or subconscious level, affecting judgments and decisions without deliberate awareness. The mere exposure effect has been observed across a wide range of stimuli, including faces, words, symbols, music, artwork, and consumer products. Repeated exposure to a stimulus enhances processing fluency, making it easier for individuals to process and recognize that stimulus in subsequent encounters. This increased fluency can lead to positive affective responses. The mere exposure effect may also operate through associative learning mechanisms, where repeated exposure to a stimulus strengthens the association between that stimulus and positive affective states. Advertisers often leverage the mere exposure effect by repeatedly exposing consumers to brand logos or jingles to increase brand familiarity and positive associations. People may develop greater liking for individuals they encounter frequently, such as classmates, co-workers, or neighbors, simply due to the familiarity gained through repeated exposure. Exposure to certain songs, artists, or art styles can lead to increased appreciation and enjoyment over time, even if individuals were initially indifferent with them. The mere exposure effect is most pronounced when stimuli are presented repeatedly but not excessively. Too much exposure may lead to boredom, diminishing the effect. The effect is stronger for relatively simple or easily processed stimuli compared to complex or ambiguous stimuli, where other factors may influence preferences. The strength of the mere exposure effect may vary across individuals based on factors such as personality traits, cognitive styles, and prior experiences. Marketers can capitalize on the mere exposure effect by incorporating repeated exposure strategies into advertising campaigns to increase brand familiarity and positive brand associations. The effect has implications for social influence processes, such as peer relationships, group dynamics, and impression formation, where familiarity can shape interpersonal perceptions and interactions. The mere exposure effect does not apply universally, and may be moderated by factors such as individual differences, stimulus characteristics, and situational context. Familiarity alone is not sufficient to explain the mere exposure effect, and other factors, such as cognitive processing or conditioned responses, may also play a role.